Welcome to the Leesburg Parks and Recreation Show. I'm your host, Claudia Virga. Today we are really excited because summer is almost here and Leesburg Lightning is preparing for another great baseball season.
Go Lightning!
The two-time champion of Florida Collegiate Summer League brings together the best young players from around the country. They will compete with 5 other Central Florida teams. Here with me are John Brandenburg, president of the Leesburg Lightning Board, and Chuck Johnson, board member and team announcer. Welcome, gentlemen.
Miss Claudia, thanks for having us.
Good to be here.
Tell us a little bit about the Florida Collegiate Summer League.
Well, let me start then. Florida Collegiate Summer League played its first game, I think, around 2004. And it was a group out of Orlando and Winter Park that started it. And I think, Chuck, you were probably connected to them earlier than I was.
A little bit, but the league started a very wonderful lady by the name of Sarah Whiting and her husband. Their son came to her one day and says, "Mom, how come I have to go away to play summer baseball?" And she said, "Well, I guess you don't." And the Whitings got together and through their efforts in their community established the Florida Collegiate Summer League almost 10 years ago now. And through their efforts, it has turned into be one of the most successful summer league wooden bat programs in the nation.
I did not know that. What people don't know is that you guys were actually on the board before the Lightning was even here, correct?
That's correct.
So you helped create what?
Well, we helped raise the initial money. We helped pull the people together who eventually got the team going and forge the relationship with the city in order that we could become a not-for-profit team and do our thing here in Leesburg.
Florida Collegiate Summer League made a phone call to the Parks and Recreation Department before 206 and asked if the city of Leesburg would be interested in becoming a part of it. Bruce Erickson at the time called a bunch of us together. We met with the league officials. We asked them this: you have an open date on July 4th, 2006. If you'll schedule a game between 2 teams that aren't from here, we'll show you the participation that the city of Leesburg and its fan base can provide to the Florida Collegiate Summer League. The rest is history.
That's how we won them over.
That's how we won them over.
Excellent.
July 4th, 2006.
And we had a couple thousand people at that game.
Wow, that's incredible. So we understand that the Leesburg Lightning is located here, but there are other teams. Where are those located?
Sanford,
Yeah.
Winter Park, DeLand.
We have another team in College Park this year that's transferring over from the church. And we have a team at Tinker Field called the Orlando Monarchs. All of them very good. All of them, for the most part, league-owned. We're the only independent team that is owned by its fans and its partners and its community.
That's even more exciting, don't you think?
It is.
Yeah.
How about this? 56% of everyone that saw a league game last year, again, there's 6 teams.
Okay.
56% of everyone who saw a league game in 2012 saw that game at Pat Thomas Stadium. How about that?
Wow. That is, when you think about that in the bigger picture, pretty impressive.
We're a little overzealous by the
And
way.
we're the smallest city, but by far have the biggest attendance, and that's what it's about. The city, the people who live here have adopted the team, and the success follows.
Well, that's awesome. So how does the Leesburg Lightning find our players? How do we find our players?
And initially, in the early years, we got recommendations from coaches. Since that time, we have built a base with these coaches, and they come to us now and make application. We'll look at their statistics, talk to their coaches, see if we've got a slot for a particular type of player. You only got 1 shortstop. You only got 1 third baseman, you only got 1 first baseman. So you have to be able to build a team with 9 different players, and of course it's pitching. And we typically get them by application now, and we participate in the tryouts. So every once in a while we pick up a player, as we did last year, from the tryouts. We picked up Eric Heinman, who was our starting catcher.
Now, where are the tryouts?
Held every year in Sanford.
Okay. So all of the collegiate teams go to view the players? Is that?
They have
is
the
it just
opportunity.
like, okay, have the opportunity to go and see the players and then be able to, kind of like a draft?
Kind of like a draft
Yeah.
at the tryouts. Before that, though, most of the roster positions are filled by application. The players have to sign a contract, and they're set. It's when you're looking to fill a particular slot, do you go to the tryout.
Do we get players that come back, year after year? Do we have that?
We've
Yeah.
had players who have moved here, and they're now permanent residents.
Working in our local economy, that's a story in itself, because I think we should let everyone who's watching this understand that kids today, including the kids that play high school baseball and college baseball, use an aluminum bat. The ball goes differently, it goes farther, it's another game. But in the major leagues, they use the wood bat, the same wood bat they used 100 years ago. So any coach that has a college baseball player who looks super like they could make the major leagues, they want them to be in an instructional league. So that's what the Leesburg Lightning is. We're a summer wood bat league, so they could get experience that may help them get into the majors.
Okay, so are there any other ways besides them being able to use a bat to differentiate that we help them get into professional baseball?
Not really, other than the exposure they get from the individual coaches and their ties to Major League Baseball. For a couple of seasons, we had a relatively unknown pitcher by the name of Frank Viola, who was the most valuable player and the Cy Young Award winner for the National League. And he was able to contact and use a lot of his influence
He was our coach.
He was our coach. And he was able to give our players a kind of a leg up in talking with Major League ball clubs and helping them further their career.
Okay.
Plus, we have scouts that come to a number of our games who will check the speed of the pitchers, who will look at the play, and mostly I think they look for pitchers. But that's something unique. You don't get that unless you have a certain level of play. So we're fortunate in that we're in a league that has great play, and we've been able to field a team within the league that plays well. So that's another help, because we don't help these players get into the majors. They do it themselves. We just have the platform where they could be seen and perform, and in front of our fans. That makes the whole picture.
One of the other things that's of significance is that they'll play a 43-game schedule in about 50-some-odd days. So they're playing almost 6 days a week. Gets them used to what it'd be like in the minors.
Right, and they're traveling too.
They're
so
traveling.
Yes.
Just like that would happen, so that gives them great experience as well. Who are some of the players that stand out for our Lightning?
You take that one, Chuck, since you call them out in every game.
Well, I'm a little bit of less than objective. I would tell you that all the Lightning players stand out. But I would tell you that the fans, like Mike Miller, our catcher from Dallas Baptist, because he has a name, and when you ask the fans what time it is,
Miller time.
they'll tell you it's Miller time. And Big Mike Miller can hit the ball a long way, and when he delivers, and so the fans just love that. We have our local boys that we're real proud of, who are actually born and raised here. Most of them go to Lake Sumter, and they play for the Lightning too. We usually have 2 or 3 of those who earn a spot. None of them's given a spot; they earn a spot. Trey Norris is a hard-throwing closer for the Lightning who throws out in Lake Sumter. Jonah Davis, who played last year, was the fireman of the year in the JUCO league. So
Jake Cavender's
local boy,
coming back.
to play center field, and so we're just pretty proud of the local boys. But we have Mark Stewart was a standout who spent 4 years with us. John the Lightning Bolt moved here after his career and actually coached in the local high school level. So we have some favorites.
So I understand that we were amongst the highest ranked last year. Can you tell me more about that?
I happened to look up where we came in over the years. Our first year was 2007, and in our very first year with Josh Holt was our coach, and Rich Billings. And these names are known because they've become well-known coaches here at Lake Sumter State College for their baseball program. But in the very first year, we had a great record. I think we were the 4th seed. We were the lowest team to go into the playoffs. We won the championship game at Tropicana Field in St. Pete, 6-0 over Altamont Springs. Now that's our first year out of the box. We won the whole championship. After that, we pretty much came in 3rd place the next few years. And then in 2011, with Frank Viola, a very famous baseball name in the national or in the major leagues, led us to 29 wins and only 12 losses in the year, and we ended up our second first place championship. And last year, interestingly, we had 26 wins and only 15 losses, so we led in our statistics, we led all teams, but we ended up losing in the playoffs, so we came in 3rd or 4th.
Second. We lost in the championship game.
Okay, we came in second.
We lost in the championship game.
Second last year.
Yeah. But the Lightning dominates in every other category.
Absolutely, it's remarkable. So you mentioned some of the past coaches. Who's the coach this year?
Dave Thurno. Dave Thurno is the coach at Emery-Riddle at Daytona Beach. He's in his 2nd year. Does a great job. He's a real good lover of the game of baseball, a real technician type guy. Really, he's hardcore, get in your face baseball player.
Okay.
Yeah. One of the things that John had mentioned was about Josh Holt and Richie Billings. What folks fail to realize is they grew up in our Little League program. And if you grew up in the Leesburg Little League program and you're the winning coach for the Leesburg Lightning, the Florida Collegiate Summer League, that's a pretty good baseball career. That's Leesburg's kids at its best.
And that's how we started. So fan support is nothing new. That's been here from the beginning here in Leesburg.
Yeah, that's amazing. So tell me, you've seen the other teams play. Who do you think's our strongest competition coming up for this year?
Why don't you just ask who we like the least?
Who do we like the
There
least?
you go. Yeah, the Sanford River Rats are our biggest rivals. They don't like us, and we don't like them, and we love to play baseball against them, and they do too. They're great kids. It's a great organization, and they do everything right too, and it makes for a great rivalry. And baseball's built on rivalries, and so we like to beat the Sanford River Rats. We also like to beat anybody else who shows up on the ball field. So we don't cull anybody.
Other than when we have our military games, it's a losing proposition because 90% of the fans are rooting for the military team and not our Lightning, and that's just fine with us, right?
We're respectful of our military. We try to put on the military all-star game every year on July 4th. The fans love it. They're entitled to it. It puts baseball in its proper perspective. Not above our military, but it's America's pastime, and it's done in celebration. And when you can do it celebrating the military, then you've done a good thing for your community.
Absolutely, double hitter, right?
And I got to say, Chuck puts on a great show. When you come, Chuck is our PA announcer. He's the heart and soul of our team. And when we put on the pre-show on the field, I tell you, it brings a tear to your eye. Just the way he does it and the way the fans support it. So it's nothing you could hear on the radio or see on TV that would give you the same feel as being at Pat Thomas Stadium, Buddy Lowe Field. By the way, Buddy Lowe was one of our founders of the Leesburg Lightning and worked very closely with us and gave the heart and soul to the team. And here's a name out of the past for a lot of people viewing this probably. Just a great, great guy. And we benefit from him today because of all of his work too.
Okay, so between Chuck's great announcing and rivalry, what else makes the Leesburg Lightning so successful?
Our fans.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt. We have the finest and best and most supportive fans anywhere in the world when it comes to supporting their baseball team.
Absolutely.
They'll come in the rain, they'll come early, they'll stay late, they'll come watch them practice, they'll cook them, they adopt the players, they cook for the players, they bring them cookies every night. It's a family thing. This idea of the Leesburg Lightning, it's not about a baseball club, it's about a family that supports itself. And for 2 months out of the year and 2 or 3 hours every night, you can come and visit the stadium and you don't have to worry about anything, about taxes and health care and gasoline. They're all gone for this couple hours. You just get to sit back and relax and watch America's greatest game with your family and watch your grandkids play baseball, and it's pure and it's innocent.
Good old American fun, right?
Yeah, the flag flies proudly at the stadium.
Absolutely.
Well, and people, if somebody came to say, we see what you guys do, we're going to duplicate this in St. Pete, let's say. It's pretty hard to do because the fan relationship, once the season starts June 4th, we kind of have our day jobs because everybody's a volunteer. We don't get paid. But we do our day jobs, and every other moment in the whole summer is devoted to the Lightning. That's why we can't do anything different. We can't pull anything off because all we're doing is serving the needs of our fans. We're putting on a show for the fans, and we don't take ourselves seriously. We huckster cars, we huckster boats, we sell anything you could imagine. We sell raffle tickets, we pass the hat for a contribution, and the fans love it. I mean, we can't say anything to deprive ourselves enough that won't turn on our fans, and we love it. So it's hard to describe, but it's easy to experience. All you do is come out to a game, and you've been there, so
Yes,
you know.
I have. I enjoy and so do my children. They enjoy it. Absolutely. Running the bases.
Running the bases, taking care of them kids. We're alcohol free. We say that proudly because that's one of the few places in the city where alcohol is not served, not allowed. We do that to create an environment for our families and our children that they don't have to worry about anybody acting inappropriately. It won't happen at the stadium. And
they'll bring the kids because there's no charge to come to a Lightning game. Unlike the rest of the league, the other 5 teams, when you come to Leesburg, we're not opposed to raising money 12 months out of the year through sponsors. So when you come to the game and bring your 3 or 4 children to run the bases, any few dollars you have, you can go to the concession stand where we do absolutely have the finest baseball food in the world. He likes to say possibly the finest, but I argue with him.
Quite possibly America's finest
and it's a
baseball
great
food.
value, and that's the Lightning experience. No booze, family oriented, very low cost, no cost admission, and having fun in the summertime. That's the whole deal, and then we add baseball for the flavor, and it works.
Yeah. Now, we talked about the players, we talked about the coach, and you mentioned volunteers. So who else helps make up the Lightning staff?
Well, it takes 30 people to put on a show every night. People don't realize that. 30 people, volunteers every night. Sitting next to me in the broadcast booth is John Meyer, the best statistician in the world. Next to him, Roger Croft. He's the guy who does the internet broadcasting, and his dad, Bob Cross, does the color commentary on it. We broadcast worldwide to our troops. We got Dale Davis and Kim Higgins down there cooking at the concession stand with all their help, along with Victor Crosby. It's a passion for them. How good of food can we serve? We got great ground crew. Michael T. with the City of Leesburg,
Absolutely.
the greatest ground crew chief you ever want to see.
Unbelievable.
So it just takes a lot of folks to put this show on, and all of them are glad to do it.
Yeah.
We might mention here too, the Boosters Club.
which is
The Boosters Club gets the benefit because as we organize the Leesburg Lightning, you want to get money from all sources, including the concessions. But you also have to put your energy into making concessions work. We fell into the great idea of giving that to the Leesburg High School Boosters Club, and the Boosters organization brings the 20 people or so necessary to work the concessions. They feed our players for free. That's the benefit to the Lightning. But the biggest issue is the fans get great food. You just can't duplicate that on the outside.
Okay, this food keeps coming up.
You can serve your family. You bring your family of four
Right.
to the ballpark on Tuesday night. Admission's free, and you can get a hot dog and a Coke for $1. So your children can run the bases, watch the game, eat for $1 each, and you spend $4 and had a great night of entertainment.
And poke fun at us and get away with it.
Now, my buddy John Brandeburg will be hawking you. He'll be selling you a raffle ticket because nobody does it better than him than selling him raffle tickets.
So what else is at the concession stand for food? Because I'm just curious. We keep talking
We have
about
hot dogs, hamburgers. We have the greatest 5-ounce chicken fillet that you've ever had. We have popcorn. We have just an amazing array of chocolates and soft drinks.
Did you say chocolate?
A little bit of chocolate, a little bit Reese's peanut butter cup.
Ice
just
cream?
Ice cream. And we're doing something special this year. We had, this was last year was the first year we actually made any money. We usually have to pay last year's bill this year.
Right.
We had a little bit of extra over, and we bought stadium seating from Camden Yard, from the Baltimore organization. So out front, in the front part of the stadium, we're going to have chairs with backs on them and armrests and drink holders. And
Regular folding stadium seats.
Come out of Camden Yard.
Instead of the seats that we have to set up and take down that you buy for $3 at the dollar store, the
Right.
white stacking chairs, those are all now going to be replaced with real
Baseball.
professional stadium seating.
How exciting.
Yeah.
Just-
Compliments of the
Lightning.
fans and the Lightning organization.
Just one more thing. We make it better wherever we go. That's our goal. So this year's capital energy project was we put the seats in there, make the stadium better.
Now, how many people regularly show up in attendance for a game?
1,114. No. About 1,100 is our average.
We would tell you that it is very likely that you come any night and you'll have somewhere between 7 and 1,100 people, depending on the weather and things of that nature. But you can average 900 people a night. That's more than all the rest of the league teams combined.
But when you throw in a 4th of July week, not only the 4th of July game, but the game or two before and the game or two after.
And the fireworks after.
We easily carry, say, 1,500 to 2,000 at most of those games,
I
with the
think the
4th of July being over that.
Oh, I think the paid attendance at the 4th of July last year was like 17,000.
Yes. Chuck always announces paid attendance to a great applause, and he pulls it out of somewhere, but it's always a great big number.
Now, we talked about 4th of July, which is a great night because you get to watch the game and then walk right out onto the field and have conveniently located for the beautiful fireworks that the city
Right over
provides.
your head.
Right? Fantastic. What are some of the other promotion nights? How about Meet the Player?
This year on the Tuesday before opening night, we'll have Meet the Players. Come down there, watch the players practice, catered by Outback. You get a meal, meet the players, get your picture taken with them, have a great time, start the season off. We have Bark at the Park. That's when you get to bring your dog to my ballpark once. And in conjunction with Humane Society, we tried to find some otherwise homeless dogs a good place to live. We have Health Night. We bring in the health professionals who set up their booths and provide health information to the residents and the participants and the fans of the Lightning. We hope to have Law Enforcement Night or Public Safety Night to honor our heroes who run to the disasters instead of running away from them. We think they're worthy of our support. We've done that in the past. We expect this year's 4th of July to be an event you will not want to miss. I'll not spoil it for you, but it will be a sight you'll be glad to see. You need to make plans to be there.
Okay, I'm marking it on my calendar now, and so should everybody else. Where can we get a copy of the schedules?
Pretty much most businesses around Leesburg and beyond. We have them up in Lady Lake and the villages and all around Leesburg. We have a stack of these pocket schedules. And we've had these ever since our first year. So that pocket schedule gives you the entire schedule of games from June 5th is our first home game up through the end of July, followed by playoff games. But these little schedules are around at the restaurants, the grocery stores, the gasoline stations, so they're everywhere. But our website.
Our website's pretty good.
What's your website?
www.leesburglightning.com.
Excellent.
Imagine that.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for being with us today.
It's over?
Yes.
Thank you.
We look forward to
enjoyed it.
seeing you at the games.
Come to the ball game, folks. Worth the price of admission.
And we will see you next time on Leesburg's Parks and Recreation Show.